There we go. There. Welcome to the Paradise Lane Garden in Kincardine, where we're doing our episode 2 of Rookie Beekeepers with special tips for dummy beekeepers. Special tips, yeah. So tip number 1, when you put your bee suit on, remember to put your glasses on before you zip it up.
And finish your cigarette.
Yeah.
You ready, my dear?
Yep, we're ready now. Right, what we're going to do first of all is we're going to take off the top. Where did I put my hive tool? Right, we're not going to do a full inspection of the hive today, but we're going to just see as much as we get before it starts raining again. The weather yesterday was terrible, windy and rainy. The bees hated it. But today they're out, as you can see from the front. They're very busy there. They're out foraging today. A lot of the fruit trees have finished flowering now, but we've got a rowan tree flowering beautifully over there and lots of flowers around. And yeah, so I think there's plenty to keep the bees busy just now. I had a look at them flying in and out, and a lot of them were bringing in lots of pollen. Now this is an interesting thing here, ladies and gentlemen. If you film, stand a wee bit back, Mr. Moore, and you can see if any of you can pick out a mistake that I made last week.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Is that top super box upside down?
Very good. 10 out of 10.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I put the super box on upside down. Now, I'm not sure how much it matters to the bees. It probably does, actually. It just means that they're not hanging. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to do something about that today. I'm just going to take a quick wee look in here to see if the bees have been putting any honey in. I think they seem to be drawing the wax out a wee bit on these. But at the moment, I just put this super box in last weekend, and the weather hasn't been great since then. In fact, the weather's been terrible since then. So it's very unlikely that the bees have done anything at all in here. So what we're going to do, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to invert the super box so it's the right way round and hang the frames back in it. Now this box here at the very top is for the worker bees to put nectar into, which they will convert into honey. So the bees go out and gather nectar from all the flowers, bring it back, process it within their bodies and store it in the cells as honey. Now what we're going to do is, Mr. Moore, I'm going to hold that while you puff, and I'm going to lift that a bit. So just puff a wee bit there. Okay, now I'm going to lift it off and you can puff it lots more. But wait a minute. First of all, you're going to, how are we going to do this? Hold and puff at the same time.
You can see it.
We'll see what you can manage. Wait a minute, if I take that off, where did I put the... Right, I'm going to put the lid down. So I'll put it here. The lid down on the ground there. Now each box, as we take it off, we're going to place it down very carefully.
Excuse me, this is filming me and not you.
How's that filming you?
Because it must have changed around.
Oh no. Okay, it's on selfie thingy. How do I turn it around? It's got to operate a phone while you're wearing beekeeping gloves. Right, is that working now?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Right, now we're going to take the honey super off. Now we don't think there's much going on in this. And this will be light. It's got no underneath. Oops, it's light. So, have you got bees underneath?
Yeah, loads. Not many underneath, but loads here.
Okay, so we'll lay that down diagonally there. So it's not the squash in the bees. So the honey super's mainly empty. I didn't really need to put it on. Now this silver thing here is called Queen Excluder. And what it does is, oopsie, does is, did I zip this up? Yeah, I did. It keeps the queen out of the honey super, so that the honey that the bees store in the honey super, the frames don't get, the queen doesn't get through to them and lay eggs in them, so that people can get frames of honey without any grubs in it, which I think is a good idea really, because as I said last week, people don't really like eating grubs very much, as far as I know. Now, let me see. So here, top brood box. We might as well do a little bit of inspection because the bees seem to be quite docile today. Now, if you look at this, Mr. Moore, look here, you see these two are too close together and there's too much of a space between these two. And as a result of that, there's too much of a space, and the bees tend to sort of build extra comb in where there's a bit of space. So they've built extra comb in here, which isn't really needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that, and perhaps I'll take one of these up to have a look at it just now, and then we'll just shift it so that they're spaced better. Now normally when you put frames into a brood box or a super, they have these little bits here which are, they ensure that the frames are correctly spaced. And if you don't have them, see, I accidentally ordered
non-spaced ones.
Frames that weren't spaced, yeah. And so I've got kind of space in my hand. Like this frame here, ooh.
Wow, busy.
Looking good, quite busy.
And what are all those cells filled?
Right, let me see, on that side, oh yeah. Right, you've got loads of capped brood cells here. So they're all capped with wax. So what it means is that the grubs in these cells have all, they're all ready to pupate. So the worker bees cover up the cells with wax, and the bees stay in there for, I can't remember how long it is. I'm a fairly new beekeeper as well. My short-term memory is not great. No, my long-term.
Some of them are sort of like sticking out of they've got their heads right in.
Yeah, well.
And half their body sticking out. It's like they're right in there.
Yeah. Well, what they might be doing is they might be feeding on nectar that's in there. It's when you puff the bees with pollen, supposedly it pacifies them a bit because it makes them all go down into the hive and feed on the stored honey.
A lot of action in that top corner there.
There is indeed, yep. So these are all brood cells. See, some of the ones there, you can see the empty cells there are most probably ones where the bee has hatched out.
All right, aye.
And a lot of these are probably just about to hatch. So these are all worker cells. In a wee while we might see some drone cells. There probably won't be very many yet in this hive at this time of year. The drone cells are just bigger. Right, one of the things that we're doing just now, while we're looking through, we're doing our inspections. There's only a kind of part inspection really today. One of the things that we would be doing would be looking for queen cells or swarm cells, as they're sometimes called, which you would find hanging at the bottom, hanging off the bottom of the frame.
Oh yeah, we saw
cells. You what?
I saw them on a video once.
Yeah, the swarm cells are just a sure sign that the bees are planning to swarm. One of the purposes of beekeeping, or one of the main, what I find most important things in beekeeping is to make sure that your colony of bees doesn't swarm, because if a swarm leaves a hive, then the old queen flies off with an awful lot of the workforce, and it depletes the strength of the remaining colony. So what you want to do is you want to catch them if they're showing signs of beginning to swarm, which is by building queen cells. Then you want to trick them into thinking that they've already swarmed, so they don't need to swarm. And you can do that in many ways. You can do that by making sure that the queen has plenty of room to lay more eggs, and that the colony has got enough room to expand. And you can do that by taking out one or two of the combs that are covered in brood cells. So anyway, that's for another day. That's doing a hive split. And that's for another day. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna carry on from last week and replace a couple of frames last week that we need to do. Right, so give me a wee puff here, Mr. Mark. Oops. Right, a wee puff under. Okay, actually you're going to have to do this, because this is the whole purpose of me having a Mr. Moore to help me, is so that you can do the heavy lifting. So, right, so I'm going to puff, and I'm going to take this and you lift that up and put it diagonally on top of that. Thank you very much. And I'll try and give it a wee puff. Oh, there's not much smoke left. Oh. That's easy there. Alright, Mr. Moore, could you please put more stuff in there, please?
Stuff in the puff.
Here's stuff, and there's matches. Here's the phone. The phone is filming the sky. Right there. Right, I've got the phone. There's Mr. Moore puffing up the puffer. I'll get to light it again. Right. I think maybe what I'm going to do now is... I might get out the magnifying glass so you can have a closer look at the bees. Right, now last week... Oh dear, that's not very good. Okay, how are you getting on?
Oh, it keeps going out.
It's those gloves. Oopsie. Right, while Mr. Moore's doing that, I'm going to see if I'm able to... What's happening here? It's difficult to do things when you've got your big beekeeping gloves on. No, I'm not able to do this. Okay, oopsie. Right, give me a wee puff. That's great. Thank you. That's enough. Right, now do you want to film this while I hold this over? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try and pick out that. That was, yeah, that's the that's the frame that I need to replace.
I think there was a dummy on the other one as well.
Yeah. Oh no, the dummy boards is okay. You can leave it there. It just right. Okay, so I was going to replace this one as well, because that was a bit... I'm not sure if that's a problem or not, but oh yeah, the comb there is filthy. It must be all the problem from the slug infestation that we had last winter. which let's say no more about that. Now, could you just let me get these things out from behind you? And thank you. Two frames there. Whoa! Me. Right. Now, I'm not pretending to be a great experienced beekeeper, although I do come from a long line of generations of Polish beekeepers. Oh, God. Oh, that smoke's in my eyes. Oh. Oh my God, how did you make it so smoky?
I stuffed it all in.
Oh. Okay, right. So we're replacing, right, we're going to replace a couple of frames, but also, while we're at it, I'm going to pick out a frame and try and have a look with the magnifying glass, because I think it might be quite interesting. Pick out one of the more busy frames. Mr. Moore, are you ready with your filming device? Which we call a telephone. No, we call it a mobile phone. Right, there's Mr. Moore with his filming device. And there's a frame. And now, I don't know, are you able to, I don't know how you,
I think it's focusing. I'm not 100% sure.
oh God, that smoke's getting in the eyes again. Well, yeah. Okay, anyway, it was a trial. We'll try again sometime. So, right. So
You'd put the stopper in that, would it?
stopper, yeah. Okay. Here's another tip for beekeepers. A feather is a good thing for, so you can flick the bees away with the feather. And what we're doing here is we're going to flick these bees away so that I can put this frame back in. Oh no. We want to, if possible, not squash any bees. It does happen. And I suppose you have to just not worry too much about it really. Right. Anyway, so I think for the time being that will do. Right. Because we looked at them last weekend, a week ago, we probably don't want to do it.
You happy at that?
I think I'm happy with that, yeah.
Right.
We don't want to do it any more.
Did you replace your two?
I'm about to. Where's the other one? Oh, it's here. Right, we're putting in a nice clean foam there for them. And then we can make sure they're nice and spaced out.
Oh.
You okay? Right, okay. There we go, wee bees. Oh, now wait a minute.
What is it?
I'm just wondering what those are. I suppose that might be drone cells. There's a couple of drone cells there. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that until next weekend. So now we're going to put this one back. Okay, right. We'll put the topper down just now. And Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore, would you like to pick up
Which?
that one? Pick it up and put it with the matching that side of thing. A matching pattern to that.
Ready?
Yep. So, yeah, that's the way. Perfect. And don't fall over. There, now, just kind of pull it a bit towards yourself and until it, yeah, fits into place nicely.
Is that in place?
Yeah, I think that is in place. Very good. Now we put on the queen excluder. Queen excluder goes down. And now this is the interesting bit. Right, would you like to put the cover down? We don't really use it much at the moment. Cover down. And now what we're going to do is... Oh God, there's 2 dead bees there. Now, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have to take these all out and turn it around, because if you remember, the super was upside down and we want to kind of put it the right way around, the correct way around. So we're going to take all these out. Oh my God, that's some of this. Oh, this is not great. Right, so what we're going to do here is take these all out. Turn this round. What is it going that way?
No.
There, see, that makes sense because,
Uh-huh.
yeah. That makes sense. Now we're going to put this on carefully. So, does that look about even?
Mm-hmm.
Put that on there and then hang these combs in like that. If any of you people out there found this interesting, following the beekeeping exploits of fairly new and experienced beekeepers in Kincardine, Fife, please keep tuning in. And one day you might even want to listen to some of our songs.
Oh, a bit of cross-fertilisation there, my dear. Well, you should tell the viewers whose songs do you mean?
The songs of Ravaged Hearts.
Ravaged
Country
Hearts.
Blues and Soul. And you'll find them on our same YouTube channel.
And our Facebook page.
Yeah. Remember that, folks, Ravaged Hearts. Speciality at the moment has been busking due to lockdown. Right, how are we doing here?
Good, good.
Do you think they're well enough spaced out?
I think so.
You learn by mistakes here. I'm lucky enough to have a brother who's an absolute expert top beekeeper in Scotland. One of, anyway. He's a Fife beekeeper. His speciality is a native Scottish black bee. Now, oh, yeah, I think we're doing well here. Oh, is that the last one?
No, oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's... Is there room for any more
Well, you've only got 2 scabby ones left.
scabby ones, right?
And that looks quite tight, doesn't it?
Well, you see, the thing is that there's probably enough room for them to start building lots of burr comb in here.
No.
So I mean that
You'd
would
always
go.
get a new one then.
I could put another one in possibly, but then I'm always a wee bit not wanting to stick them too close together. So
Maybe stick another one in next week. They're not going to do anything in the intervening week, you think? As soon as you go.
Well, I'm thinking that in future, if I have to order more stuff for making up frames, then I'll always remember to get spacers. I film in the garden to show you.
It's a bit of a building site at the moment, as you can see.
Right now, does that give me enough room for another one?
Just about room.
Oh gosh, probably getting a bit fed up with me now.
The viewers or the bees.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, no, because I always have this problem at the end. There's not enough space for another one.
No, there isn't. So you have to open them up, that slight wee tiny bit, them all, and then they'd be even.
Oh,
But I mean, if they've not filled the middle one, they're not going to have done anything to this one by next week. Would you say?
no, they won't have.
And if they'd always squeeze another one in if it's possible.
There isn't room for another one in, but I'm still not convinced that I'm leaving enough or little enough space in between. Well, we'll just see. But you see, luckily for me, I can always just phone my brother up. I can say,
You're not happy with the spacing. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Shall we put the lid on?
Let's put the lid on.
Let's put a lid on it.
Yeah. Right. This has been my shining hour. Dee, 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 dee. Oh,
Oops.
oops, sorry.
Barfingers.
Noises. Nice heavy brick on top. There, right, bees.
That's an 18th century brick. I'll just let the viewers see that. No maker's stamp on it.
What, the brick?
Yeah.
Were you filming the brick?
Yeah.
Right, what were the other good tips that we were going to give for beekeepers?
Finish your cigarette
Glasses on.
before you put your suit on. I'd maybe said that one already.
Said that already. Remember to put your specs on.
Take a
before
drink
you
of water
step up.
before you put your suit on.
Tie your hair back so you don't get it caught in the zip.
Good idea. Wear a peaked cap.
Wear a peaked cap so that the what do you call
Mesh?
this? Mesh doesn't get
Close.
right up in your grill and the bees don't sting you on the nose, which happened to me once. Here's another good tip. Early in the spring, when you first take your bee suit down off the hook, make sure there aren't any queen wasps overwintering in it because they can give you a nasty sting. That happened to me once as well.
Did you write a song about it?
I did.
Oh.
2 songs I've written about these. One day I'll sing it to you. Actually, you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just thinking that if anyone's watching this, then on my YouTube channel, the Anna Durkacz YouTube channel, you might also see a video for a song called At the Bottom of the Garden, which happens to be about something which is very close to my heart. Okay, that's enough.
There's a wee pussy.
Oh, hello.
Shall we say goodbye to the viewer?
Goodbye, viewers.
And we'll see you again soon. How do you switch this off, darling? Oh, I've got the phone upside down, I've just realised.
Oh, no. Right. So you have. Oh, how do you switch it off?
You press the button.